Hey Blue Group, sorry about the delay in this video. We've had all sorts of technical difficulties today. And I heard that on which I don't have open right now, but oh, yes I do, it's down here. I heard that a lot of these resources were not working. We were getting a error message, and you can see I'm getting the same error message. I went through and made sure it wasn't just in the Blue Group resources, and I went through and actually went to some of the other activities that were linked, and we're getting a lot of these error messages. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I know Seesaw was down today, so I'm sure a lot of these educational apps and websites are just having a slower time. I was able to go in and I skipped the YouTube videos, and some of these, even these worksheet pages, were not working, but they worked for me last night. I copied them directly from that. The Google Drive documents weren't working either. But what I did was I went here and then I searched for, I think I just searched for fractions. And I was able to find some results. The skills that we are working with this week, this would be great adding to one whole. We are working on composing and decomposing numbers with our fractions with common denominators right now. So we're not looking at mixed denominators yet. We will towards the end of the week as we start looking at comparing fractions, but we're working on composing to a whole. So I'm looking here, 7/8 needs how many more eighths to reach one whole? It needs one more eighth. 3/4 needs one more fourth. Over here, 5/7 needs two more sevenths. So this would be a good page that you could do here. We're not quite going to be on comparing fractions, and you can see quickly jumps to finding reciprocals. So unfortunately, the link that I had sent was a little bit more focused on what we needed this week. You can sort, I would put third grade in and search and see what you can find. And it can give you some different things. It's going to be a lot of basic fractions. Finding fractions on a number line, if you need to review that skill from last week, is still there. But you can kind of go through and see what you need. I'm going to send you guys an email tonight to see about getting Blue Group signed on for a quick check-in every week. And then that way it would be in lieu of me doing these daily videos. So I don't know what you'd prefer. Jump in on that live Q&A today if you have something you want to share. If you want to do a lesson, I'm able to share my screen through Microsoft Teams, so we could do it that way. Just do a quick little 20-minute lesson, maybe once a week, and then I could do a wrap-up video or something like that, depending on the skill that we're doing. Unfortunately, I can't commit to doing Blue Group every single day of the week. We have all sorts of other conference calls going on, other team meetings, leadership meetings, administrative meetings, all sorts of stuff going on. So there's a lot schedule-wise to fit in, but I would like to see if we can schedule something, just kind of an office hour type thing for Blue Group, especially since a lot of these videos are not working. There is a Nearpod code that you can do if you're getting a head start on the week, but the reason why I didn't why I want to stick to this fluency activity on the first day is to get us situated for the week. We can do something to review last week's skill. We can do something to make sure that our iReady is complete, make sure that the lesson that was assigned was complete. Going in, this is going to be our first couple of days. We're going to do this Tuesday, Wednesday, and then this Thursday, Friday, I believe, is how I've kind of divided it up for us. So we're going to do fluency activities, activity B, E, C, and F. And if we go to did I close it down? I'm sorry, one second. All right, so for fluency this week, how many ways can you make these products? So we know with the number 18 that we can do 2 times 9, we can do 1 times 18, 18 times 1, we can do 9 times 2, we can do 3 times 6, 6 times 3. There's a lot of different ways that we can create this product. There's a lot of factors, and that's going to really come in handy when we're looking at fractions later on and we're doing comparing and we want to find common denominators and things like that, which we won't explore too much in third grade content, but enough that if we want to be as fluent and familiar with these as possible. You'll notice that then we go up to 132, which is a skill that we haven't really covered a whole lot on. using double digits and things like that, but it is going to be a great challenge. So as the numbers get larger, see how many different ways you can come up. That's going to be a great skill in practicing that fluency. We also have this number of the day, which I did link into an additional resource page, and it looks like this is the old file. So if we go quickly back, sorry guys, to our, I have so many tabs open right now. There we go. If we go back to our accelerated choice board from here, you'll see that I have it. I actually went in and added a couple of these pages to the additional resources so that they were there. So I went ahead and enlarged them since it was so small on that. So today's number is 4,572, and it wants you to use 2 digits from today's number. So you could do 5 and 7, or you could do 4 and 2, or you could do 4 and 5, your choice, rows and columns. And just as a good remember, making an array, making an equal rows and columns, and what's your repeated addition sentence, what's your repeated your related multiplication sentence in fact family. So again, it's a good review just to remember and keep those skills fresh. And then the second part you would use, so if I used 4 and 5 for this first one, I would use 7 and 2 for my second one down here. So again, good practice. And then all of the other activity links are in here. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow really going over our new skill of composing and decomposing fractions. It sounds a lot scarier than it is, but if you are able to, I do have one of these pages. I will send this link out on Seesaw. This is going to be just a little, they put it in an entire booklet, but we can use it just on a sheet of paper or something. But decomposing just means breaking it up. And so what they're going to represent here is say that I can do 8/10. So you would shade in 8 out of the 10. And then it can be, I could do it multiple different ways. I could do 1/10 over here. I could do 2/10 over here. So then I'd have 3/10 total. And then I could do 4 down here. So then I've got my 8/10. So then I would leave this one as blank. And it's saying that when I take all 4 of these combined together, they make this a total of 8/10. So it's thinking of fractions just like we can with our numbers. Composing the numbers is putting them back together. So what plus what equals 7/8, just like a puzzle. So I could do 3/8 and 4/8, and that would make a total of 7/8. So it's getting you to think about it in as many different ways as you can. So here they've got, oh, this one they actually decomposed it a little bit differently than I thought they intended, but it's showing multiple examples of that. So I will link this to you guys tomorrow so that you have it, and parents, you have it. I did just want to touch base on it in case some of you like to go ahead and you don't want to do a fluency activity, although I do highly recommend that you, especially if you haven't hit that 60 problems in 3 minutes, definitely make sure you're doing some fluency activities. But for those of you that are going ahead into these and you want to learn more about composing and decomposing, and since our resources aren't working, you might just want to hold off on that until tomorrow, okay? Stick to these 2 activities as best as possible, and I'll reach out to you guys later today, see how you're doing. Make sure you've checked that iReady, that you've completed the assignment. It was on number lines on a fraction. So if you're having any trouble with that, I did add, I believe, on our quizzes codes for this week, that we still have those fractions on a number line practice. So you can work on those 2 today. Multiplication fast facts, division fast facts, that's another good way to practice your fluency. And then this addition and subtraction mega challenge, it was pretty challenging for me even. So if you're interested in an addition and subtraction challenge, it goes into some very large numbers and it's really good practice. So stick to some of these review skills and then come back to these as you start to learn them later in the week. If you have any questions, I will reach out to you. You guys reach out to me, and we'll talk soon.